Hi, it's Dave Jones again. We're going to look at some little blues licks today, but they could also be used as rock licks. They're all come out of the A minor pentatonic scale, which is on the site, but just briefly to go through it, we start on the 5th fret. The shape for all the pentatonic shapes are on the site under scales, and but this is your minor pentatonic scale. Starting on A, 5th fret, E string, 8th fret, E string with your little finger, 5th fret A, 1st finger, 3rd finger, 7th fret A, 5, 7 again on the D, 1st finger, 3rd finger, 5, 7 on the G, 1st finger, 3rd finger, 1st finger, 4th finger, 5, 8, and then on the B, and then 5 on the E. And you can use the 8 on the E as well. But when practicing the scale, it's better to practice it up to the A note and back down again. Gets the sound of the scaling in your head as well. Now all these licks I've notated are on the site under the lessons section, and they're creatively titled for blues licks, I think. So they contain all the core elements of creating guitar phrases. That's hammer-ons. They're all slurring techniques. I've got a little exercise on slurring techniques in the G major pentatonic scale, up hammering on across the G major pentatonic scale. Again, you can hammer on across this scale, practice pull-ups, back down the scale. And this also involves a string bend, which I'm going to get some lessons up on bending in a little while. But basically what happens when you're bending the G string here, and we're pushing it up with our 3rd finger, and we're putting the other fingers on the, I mean, sometimes you might be using the 1st finger, and you will be in one of these licks, but at least have at least 2 fingers on when you're bending, just to support the bend as you push it up. And you're bending from the wrist, not, you don't have your thumb down the back and push your fingers up. You can hurt your fingers, particularly if you're a beginner. You can damage your fingers like that. You have your thumb, if you can, over the top. You're gripping the guitar here and you're pushing your wrist up. And I will go through some bending exercises later on. So, lick 1 here, it sounds like this. What we're doing there is we're bending the G string up. And if you're a beginner, a good way of blues is a good way to start bending, good style to start bending in, because the pitch isn't that important in the blues. As it is in maybe ballads and soft rock and that sort of stuff. So what you can do to kill the bend is push the bend up, and you can't quite see in the camera, but what I'm doing is I'm pushing my hand, this part of my hand here, sorry, getting it in the camera here, this part onto the strings, and it's killing it. It's called a choke bend, and it sounds quite bluesy, and it's not leaving your pitch open to everyone to listen to. So that's quite a good idea. Push the note up at the 7th fret and mute it straight away with your picking hand. So we've got, so we're bending the 7th fret up. We're using 2 fingers, fingers 3 against the fret, finger 2 for support, and then killing it. And then B, we'll flatten this finger out across 2 strings, B and E. And then what we're doing then is we're coming down the scale. B string 8, 5 you're already at with your 1st finger, G string 7, G string 5, D string 7. Okay, so that's the first one, practice it slowly. Second lick we've got here is a hammer on the G string, D string, sorry, we're hammering, hold down 5 with your 1st finger, and hammer on to 7 with your 3rd finger on the same string. And if you can, roll your finger. It's quite a useful technique this. You roll your finger, flatten it out. If you can, you could bar it if you're a bit more advanced, but so that's the lick. 3 times, da-da-la, da-da-la. It's a triplet sound to it. Sounds like rock and roll or apple pie, any 3-syllable word that you can think of. And then we're finishing off on the D. So hammer on, D, roll your finger to G, same thing again, and again, and then finishing with your 3rd finger on the D note. And then lick 3, again, all of these licks are exactly from the scale, except this one approaches a note in the scale, the 5th note, and the nice bluesy idea with a slide. When you're doing that, keep the pressure on. You play the 4th fret of the high E string, and as soon as you play it, you slide it to the 5th fret. It's called a grace note in music. This is what you want, but it makes it sounds a little bit more bluesy. So we're sliding up from 4 to 5, 8th with the little finger on the B, 5 with the 1st finger on the B, 7 with the 3rd finger on the G, and then a little triplet hammer on here. It's going 5, you hold 5 down with your 1st finger, hammer on, pull off. It's called a trill. Another useful technique. So the lick goes, so slowly. Okay, and the last lick in this again is a bend. Again, we're going to be doing it with 2 fingers, and again we're going to be killing it. If you're more of an advanced player, you can hold it up there and get it up to pitch. But if you're more of a novice player and you're getting into bends for the first time, these little choke bends are really useful, because you don't actually ever get to the right pitch, but they don't sound out of tune. It's particularly in the blues, as I say, an excellent style of music to start your bending in. This has again got a triplet feel. This one's stolen off the Chuck Berry, really. I think he showed us all this lick. So what we're doing is we're bending up, again supporting the fingers, very important. We're bending the G string at the 3rd fret. We've got our 3rd finger up against the fret, got a thumb over the top, the 2nd finger supporting on the G string at the 6th fret. And when we bend the string, we're going to kill it again with the karate chop part of this hand here, just straight against the, try and get that sound. And then what we're going to do is we have this finger hopefully flat across 2 strings if you can, sort of a partial bar across 2 strings, and we're going to play them both together. It's called a double stop. Again, very often used in lots of styles of lead guitar playing, but often in the blues. 2 notes at once. Very sort of Chuck Berry idea. And what we're going to do with this lick is we're going to go. So we bend up, kill it, get the strings, and A string. Now, if you're following the tab along, I've notated a rest at the end of each lick. There's a reason for this, because I want to get you to do some or start doing some lead and rhythm playing, where you play a rhythm part and then move into a little lead part and back to a rhythm part again. So the reason there's a rest is because I'm going to develop these licks in another lesson, so as you can play them along with the 12-bar blues. So sort of blues, back into your rhythm again. So in order to do that lesson, you need to learn these licks and be reasonably familiar with them, and you'd also need to learn the 12-bar blues in A, which is up on the site, and there is a YouTube video. So if you want to carry on with the lessons and do the rhythm and lead, then if you can learn those 2 first and join me again, and I'll put it all together and we'll have a little 12-bar blues piece with rhythm and lead. Okay, cheers, good luck.